And we're back with another episode of Prime Time Footy. And as you can see, my boy Coach Will is in the building. Coach Will, tell him what's up.
Thanks for the invite, guys. Thanks for the invite.
Amen. Amen. We appreciate you being on, seriously. I mean, Coach Dan, talk to them.
Here we go. Love to have el profesor en la casa, Professor
Yeah.
Wilver. Great to see him. Great to see you guys. Excited to talk about football. And here we go.
Let's go. Serge?
What's up, y'all? What's going on? Serge here. Great to see a profe here on the call with my boy Coach Daniel and Javi. Smiling a little more this week, not like last week, but we getting places.
Yo.
We moving.
Wait until tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow.
Nah,
Hey,
bro. What do you mean?
we gotta
Premier
leave that
League
for
win,
later.
fantasy win. I did the double this weekend, baby. Let's go.
Wilver.
I did the double. But I guess the first game that we could talk about for the game week is maybe Brighton. That Brighton game was a little tasty. Brighton versus Everton. Maybe some would call it a dead rubber. Some wouldn't, but I think it kind of gives you a little litmus test as to where everything is in the league, in the sense that, these teams, yeah, in my opinion, Brighton's not doing too well. And then Everton is always Everton. They're always either in the middle of the table or somewhere maybe potentially flirting with relegation. So, I mean, I guess that's the game we could start off with. Serge, what did you make of that game?
Yeah, man. So this is one of the games that obviously weren't highlighted on my list to watch. But you got Brighton in 13th place and Everton in 10th, kind of doing better than probably people most expected. The game was, what you come to expect. Kind of rough to watch. Grealish is out injured. That kid Ayari is actually balling out right now with Brighton. So that was a good pickup for them. I think he has like 4 GA in the last 4 games. And so he is doing damage right now in the league. Pascal Gross came back with an assist. And you called it, I think, last week, Javi. So he's coming through for them again. So all in all, it was an okay game. Nothing really to kind of like stand out in that game. But, it's almost finally back. So he's getting some minutes under his belt again. He's starting to look pretty good. He almost scored a goal. Kind of hit it off the crossbar. Right. Yeah, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. Coach.
It was basically like a mid-table battle. 2 teams just basically acting like NPC characters at a Grand Theft Auto game, just there to fill the spots. I feel like both teams are kind of going through a transition. Everton with a new coach, basically trying to stabilize the new players. Brighton, they sold some kits and then they went and bought more new kits. So another transition for them as well. But Pascal Gross was like you guys were saying, was a great addition of bringing some experience such as himself back to the Premier League. Is definitely going to lead them to hopefully finish higher in the table, maybe 8th, maybe 9th. Overall, was a good game by Brighton, but then Beto with the 97-minute goal, tying up the game and giving Everton 1 point away from home.
A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I had mentioned that Pascal Gross coming back was a big thing for Brighton. The reason I thought that was because last year, and I think maybe even the year before, he was such a strong anchor for that team in terms of his maturity, in terms of what he offered in midfield. And I think I knew once he came back, he was going to slot in nicely. And, like you said, he picked up like 12 points this week, which is pretty big. And I knew he was going to do that. I just thought it would take more time. I literally just traded him for Ayari this week, so I swapped them interchangeably. But no harm, no foul. We still got the W, so it's all good. But yeah, one thing that's really important to talk about with Everton is that they used to have Dominic Calvert-Lewin up top, and they really thought that he was going to be the one to propel them maybe a little bit forward, maybe get to European places. But he never really hit the heights that they were expecting. And I think his injury streak kind of got the better of him, which is unfortunate because you obviously see that there's a player in there, and nobody wants to see a player go out to injury. But Barry has kind of like given Beto this competition, and now Beto coming in scoring that goal is beautiful for Everton because that's exactly what they need in their team to foster this good spirit of competition. And hopefully it continues for them because they need, bringing David Moyes back was huge because he knew the club. He understands what the club's about. But now taking them a step further, they need to really start cementing what they're going to do for the future. Yeah. I think we can pivot to maybe one of my favorite things that we're going to talk about today, the Arsenal versus Leeds game. Coach, what did you make of the game? I knew you were excited to watch that game. You got money on us, right? You like it when we win, right?
I got
I
money.
know.
He's losing money on him, bro.
Luckily, Madueke finally woke up after a year in isolation. So he remembered he's actually a footballer and he can score and assist. Great goal on a corner kick. You know, some say it might be an own goal. He said at the end of the game, "Hey, that's a goal." Premier League came back to a few hours later saying, "Yep, that's his goal." They gave him the ball. He also got an assist. So overall, it was a great game for him. Gyökeres with a goal. You know, back-to-back goals for him, counting the one that he got midweek during the Champions League. So, you know, for a striker who was struggling, it's great for him to, you know, to find the back of the net. And, you know, again, another clean sheet by Arsenal. Mainly, you know, they have an amazing left back as Hincapié, bringing the rock to the Arsenal midfield. Hey, if Arsenal win this title, I've been saying you need a South American in order to win things, and they
No,
got
you
one
need an
now.
That's crazy.
Ecuadorian. An Ecuadorian has
I
been
need
the good
an
luck charm,
Ecuadorian.
bro. I'm not gonna front.
Eso.
The
And then Caicedo will be
Ecuadorians,
next
bro.
year for Chelsea.
Look at PSG, bro. Look at PSG. You
Pacho,
know,
Pacho.
Pacho, baby, Pacho, bringing it,
Get ready. We're spreading, guys. We're spreading in the world. So
Good
if you want,
shit.
if you
and
want to find
Sunderland,
success, go get yourself an Equa.
Sunderland just picked up
Yeah.
an Ecuadorian too,
Just
no?
look at Serge.
Yo, Sunderland about to secure Champions League places, bro. Relax.
Yo,
relax.
Nelson and
That's so
but yeah,
funny.
great game by Arsenal. It's not an easy game to play against Leeds, especially away. If
Yeah.
you look at the other games, they beat Chelsea, they beat United, they tied to Liverpool twice, they barely beat Aston Villa and Man City. So you're not talking, you know, a simple team who's fighting for relegation. No, you're talking about a team who can create damages against the top teams. And Arsenal literally had a walk in the park. And they, you know, Saka got hurt during the warm-ups. So let's see, you know, how bad he is considering the game tomorrow. But yeah, great game by Arsenal, and great to see Kai Havertz back.
Serge, talk to them a little bit about the game. I know I know it's not your favorite team to watch. I know it was probably a hate watch for you, but it didn't go too well, you know?
I've seen a lot of hate watching this season. I'm not gonna lie to you, but this one didn't live up to its to what I was expecting, to be honest.
It wasn't what you expected.
I was, you know, I think a little disappointed with Leeds. I think they started off with a back three, and then in the second half they went to a back four, which kind of nullified some of what Arsenal was doing. But at the end of the day, Arsenal was too strong. Arsenal, at the end of the day, we're supposed to win this game. You know, at the end of the day, they're playing Leeds. It really was just all the mentality. I think we were all waiting to see the mentality that Arsenal and Arteta was going to go into this game with, especially at Ellen Road, because, you know, Leeds are always coming for it, and I've been calling it. And honestly, I thought Leeds would kind of show some more, you know, power, some more, you know, some more want, but I think Arsenal at the end of the day was just way too strong for them. And, you know, kudos to Arsenal. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. And they did it in a kind of comfortable fashion too. I mean, even though, you know, some of the goals were kind of iffy, Madueke, you know, kind of rose up to what people were hoping he would be for Arsenal, especially now that Saka's down and who knows how long he's going to be out for. I think Arsenal really do need Madueke to show up, and it's a good time for Madueke to kind of show up. He normally comes up in spurts, you know, when he's off and firing, he'll start firing for a few games, and then he'll have a little dip. It might be, you know, a good time for him to kind of, you know, go into good form coming in the next few days. Yeah, man, I think Arsenal showed us that they are contenders, and I still have City winning because at the end of the day, nothing really changed in my eyes. I think Arsenal was supposed to win this game regardless, but we'll see what happens.
Wow, wild comments. I'm not gonna front that you still have Chelsea. I mean, I predicted it to be done by March, so I don't know. That's pretty crazy too. But I think I want to talk about 2 points, and I think we can move on to the next game. One is that Leeds, like you said, at home, they're a tough team to break down. I think Arsenal showed that they're like little boa constrictors, and they really suffocated them throughout the whole game. And you can see that with how like inefficient Calvert-Lewin was. He's been the go-to man where the ball sticks to him and they work a lot around him. And he couldn't do that at all this game. And then the other thing, pivoting to the other striker, which is Gyökeres, a lot of talk has been made about Glock 9, and how he's not firing. You know, everybody can say what they want to say, but if you look at the stats, I think his numbers in the Prem, at least, he's got more goals and more assists than even Haaland right now. So they can keep talking. You know, at the end of the day, what's gonna matter is when he has a chip in his hand.
That
So
made me pull up them
that's all
stats,
that
bro.
matters.
I was gonna more
But
goals
pull
than
up the
Haaland.
stats.
What?
He does not have more
Then
goals than Haaland,
2026?
bro.
It's since the turn of the year.
Since
He's
He said
January?
in
got more.
2026.
That's crazy.
Bruh.
Well,
Yo, that is
that's a fact, bro.
typical Arsenal stats, bro. Typical Arsenal
No,
stats, bro.
But let me tell you something. When does the business end of the season start? It doesn't
Bruh.
start in November. You know, this is when it starts hotting up. At the end of the
And
day, this is what your strikers to start firing. And my boy is not doing that for City. And that's made all the difference. It's made a difference in fantasy. It's made a difference in the Prem. And that's the subtle differences between the teams that maybe the strikers are finally starting to click. So unfortunately, we lost our lead striker this week in Marino, and we try to go into the transfer market and try to get a replacement for him. Impossible. You would have to you would have to send a bag of 200 mil to replace Marino
Yeah,
as a striker,
bro.
bro.
Y'all were
So I
trying to
don't
get
even know, bro.
Tonali for like I don't even know how much Newcastle was asking for.
Yo, getting Tonali at the end, at the depth of the transfer window, wild. I don't know why anybody would believe that rumor, honestly. But, you know, it would be crazy. It would be crazy. Yeah, kudos to Gyok. And you know what? Lead, no matter, even if they lost, I think, you know, I think Serge predicted it that they're slowly going to start to decline. And I
Yeah,
think I think maybe you were right. It's starting to look like they're losing a little bit of steam a little bit. And let's see
yeah.
how it goes because
That's what I was gonna
they got a
say.
couple of critical weeks,
They're running out of steam,
critical
I
weeks
think.
coming up. Yeah, yeah. Moving on to Bournemouth versus Wolves, guys. Serge, Dan, what did you guys make of that game? I'm gonna pull up a little bit of the
um,
game over
I
here so you
couldn't
guys can
really
take a look at
watch the game. I saw the highlights, but like first loss for I believe first loss for Everton this in since we're talking about only 2026. But I do want to talk about one player, Eli Junior Kropi, 19 years
it.
old. They bought him from France,
Balling.
20 mil, and that kid he already has 8 goals. If we're talking about stats, he already has 8 goals this season for a 19-year-old. First season in the Premier League for a team that doesn't create that many chances. It speaks a lot of volume. So I do feel like he's a player that we must keep an eye on for the future. He's only 19, like I said before. So who knows? Maybe one of the top 6 will sign him soon. And again, another France player. Like France has 3 teams that they can take to the World Cup. It's insane.
Seriously, yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
that's what I was gonna say. The recruitment for Bortman is just insane, bro. Like, not only him, but they just picked up Ryan
Mm-hmm.
from Vasco da Gama down in Brazil, and he came in like a 6 to 8 minute and got an assist. They literally just picked him up this window. So
Yeah,
Bortman's recruitment team is
Yeah.
something to behold. They're getting results even after losing their top star in Semenyo. They're still getting goals. They're still putting up points. So yo, kudos to Bortman. They're getting it done. And
Bro,
honestly,
they lost everybody.
yeah, they lost
yeah.
everybody.
They
And
lost everybody.
Wolves right now are just waiting for the championship season to start, my boy. That's literally what they're doing.
Literally. That's it.
Yeah, I
They're in
think
neutral mode.
I think to echo some of the things you guys are talking about, Cropey, of course, but in the beginning of the season, we knew about how many players they had lost, right? And not to mention, if you look at their injury list is just wild.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 first team
And
players.
some key players there, yeah.
See, yeah, if you look over
Right.
here, you have Tyler Adams,
He's a
pivotal in
starter.
midfield. Tavernier,
He's a
potential
starter.
starter. Kluivert last season was tearing it up in the league. So you have a really stacked injury list over here. And I think it's credit to the manager that he could still get results. Granted, it's against Wolves, but we know, and we've consistently talked about here, and we've given the manager his flowers, that no matter what's going on, he's professional and he puts a game up against anybody. And I mean, that's just credit to Bournemouth. The Cherries are doing what they got to do to get over the line. And I love to see that, honestly, because that's what the Prem's about. You know what? Shame on Wolves for going down. And I don't know if they really made that many moves to like warrant any like miraculous like coming from the bottom and coming back to save them. So nah,
They
I
just
think
got
it's
paid out. They just got paid out.
They're
That
yeah.
striker, Strand Larson, is going to Crystal Palace. I think they sold him for like
What did they get for
70,
him?
bro. Like 70, 65, 70, somewhere
Nice.
around there. And the dude's only scored
Yeah.
1 goal all season. Like, bro,
Yeah.
that's a
Last year
steal.
I think what happened with Strand Larson was last year he was so good. They wanted to pick him up. I think a couple of deals didn't materialize. And this whole season he was kind of unused. And I think he's been looking for a move. In the summer it didn't happen, so it finally happened now. And I
where
think
did he go?
To Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Oh
And I
yeah,
think
they
and I
lost
think the
Mateta.
Mateta deal fell through though, I think.
Yeah, but no, but he's gonna be out for like 4 months with an injury.
Yeah. The Mateta deal fell through though. I mean, either way, they needed to pick somebody up.
Yeah.
I
So
already dropped him in my fantasy league.
you dropped him. I'm about to pick him up.
Crazy.
He's coming
Go
back.
ahead. What you
Maybe
mean?
it's
He's
a
out for
back
like
injury.
3 months.
He's out, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Nah,
We'll
go
see.
pick
We'll
him up.
see.
Go
We'll
pick him
see.
up, Bobby.
Go ahead. Go
Go
pick
pick
him
him
up.
up. Go pick him up. You
Pick
want me?
him up.
Drop on
Yeah,
Yekers.
you're lucky. You're lucky I dropped Mendy, bro. Otherwise, you'd be fighting relegation too.
That's crazy.
What you
So
mean? Oh wait, did I win?
I don't know. I think you lost. Transitioning to Serge, start us off with that Chelsea versus West Ham game. First, talk to us about like the state of the game, how you felt going into the game, and then the actual game, and then maybe the aftermath afterwards that we saw
I won.
the
Bro,
madness.
let me tell you, bro. Waking up for that game, kind of watching all the other games, kind of seeing how that panned out. I was feeling real confident. I knew West Ham was kind of in, decent form. They haven't lost a game. They were putting up some good matches. So I was making my cafecito, ready to see the kids ball out. And then I saw that lineup come up, and I was like, bro, this was a hot mess. We started the game with one center back, and that was, I think, Trevor, not even, it was Fofana. We literally played with one center back, and we started with Garnacho. We literally played our B team to start. And bro, what a mess that first half was. I mean, it was insane. And honestly, after that second goal, I mean, kudos to Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen's a top professional, but that defense was just shambolic, bro. Batty Shield, I mean, they literally sat him after that first half. They picked up 2 new center backs right after that game, which tells you everything that you need to know. I
Yeah.
think the managers got the lineup wrong in the first half. I think he was trying to rotate for this game coming up tomorrow against Arsenal. But, I do have to commend him for making the in-game management and in-game subs when he did it, because Maresca probably would have waited too long to make those changes. But yeah, man, they're calling us the comeback kids. They're calling remontada out in fucking England. This is the second game that we came back from 2 down. Obviously, that Champions League game versus Napoli, we came back, and now this West Ham game, we came back. I mean, I watched it. I honestly was very disappointed in that first half. Garnacho was a fucking shit show. Please, Arsenal, save us from another winger. You guys can get him for the 20% off, bro. We'll give him to you for 35, bro. Like, we just need to break even. You feel me?
Nice.
He was. I saw a stat, bro. I think he lost the ball every 4 minutes, bro. He was just giving the ball away. He wasn't defending. He wasn't passing. He wasn't taking his man on. He was just, that whole left side was just atrocious. And I think it had to do a lot with the formation also that the Liam came out with. I think he's been trying like this new formation where he's playing with the goalkeeper as a center back, and they're just trying to try this new system out, and it's not working. But he went back to, what the players know. He brought in Trev, he brought in Pedro, he brought in Cucurella, and all of them were part of the goals. Joao Pedro got an assist in the goal. Cucurella, El Pingüino, I'm starting to call him, with his penguin dance and how he dived for that header. I think it was amazing. And Enzo came through playing as a crashing midfielder, crashing 8. I think it was a great game in terms of morale. But yeah, man, we have a long way to go. I'm just happy that they showed character finally.
Well, we're just talking about Chelsea versus West Ham a little bit, and Serge was giving us his little synopsis of how the game went. Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. I think that first half, we know, right? I think there were about 7 changes. He was rotating for Arsenal versus Chelsea coming up later this week. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think when you kind of mentioned that Maresca would have waited till later on to make those changes, the thing is that you also want your bench to start getting games and come good at the end of the season. These guys didn't step up in that moment where they needed them.
Right.
They're not playing the league leaders. They're not playing City. They're not playing. This was a good test against them, and it was a nice litmus test for him to see where he can rely on his actual subs. So I mean, it showed him everything he needed to see. I think Batty is Shield, bro.
We got the
Wow,
answers, bro. We got the answers.
yeah, the more I see him, I'm like, wow, Fofana pa cuando? And I know they're waiting. Fofana's just coming back from an injury. You have to nurse him back in gently. But I think Fofana is the key to a lot of Chelsea's success. He's a
fit.
rock back there.
He's fit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's fit. He's fit, but I don't know if he's match fit. I wouldn't throw him in just given his injury record that quickly. Coach Dan, what did you think?
Another remontada by Chelsea. The gym teacher is doing his thing. He's providing character to the players. He's making them believe, right? So that's 2 games now. During the weekend against Napoli, they were down 2-1. They came back 1-3-2. Here they were down 2-0. the coach didn't hesitate to make substitutions at halftime. Usually, some coaches are hesitant in doing that, but what matters is the team, and they need to win and change the game around, and they did. So it was a great comeback by Chelsea. 3-2, yeah. Granted, they are thinking about the game tomorrow. That's why like there were so many rotations. So hey, they got the W. Even and he got his rotation. Some players rested. So now if tomorrow they go out there and beat Arsenal, it will have been a total success because those players that rested are nice and fresh to show Arsenal the true colors of London.
He is.
Yikes. Yeah, profe, are you here? We got
Yeah,
you
I'm here.
back?
I'm back. I had to change to my phone because I was
Yeah,
over that.
yeah,
So now I'm on my
it's
phone.
the
Uh,
technical difficulties. Don't worry about it. That's the host's fault. They should have set you
That's
yeah,
straight, bro.
no,
no, it's
That's the
just
host.
like
okay.
just like
Just
Liverpool, not depth.
listen,
No
listen.
depth.
I need next time, bro. You know I can't work in these conditions. I need a new laptop, bro.
You need a new laptop? We'll put it
The
on the credit card.
podcast needs to
Put it on
buy
the
me a
credit card.
laptop.
Yo, they gonna let
Don't worry.
Carlsberg, bro. Carlsberg needs to hit you up with a new laptop, bro.
No, I was happy to see West Ham show some light. I they actually look good over there, and Bowen too, man. He's their man. So I like that West Ham at least show some fight in them, and I just think I I I think with Chelsea, um the especially with this new coach and all these new coaches are doing it too. I think Arbeloa is doing it. Avi's doing it. Used to do it when he was in Madrid. All these new coaches are getting a little bit away from the just the starters, just the starters, just the starters. You have to start rotating. A lot of the old head coaches are not doing that anymore. Ancelotti would never use like his young players from the academy. I don't think Mourinho does it. So I like that these new coaches are coming in. They're actually using everyone. So that's how you build a strong team.
Yeah, and I mean that's something that I was just talking about, but I totally agree. Not only that, I think it propels your season now into a better place later on because if you get these guys match fit, ready to go, you can slot in and you know what you're getting. It's also good for you to understand who you can rely on, who you can't rely on, and I think that's what you get with all these players once you're playing them. You get to see what they're made of at the end of the day. So totally agree. I think now that you're here Will, I think we have to talk about Liverpool versus Newcastle. And before you do that, we want to finish off with you. Yeah, as a Liverpool fan, you have the right to end off that topic. So, I mean, Coach Daniel, you saw a lot in that game. Let us know what you think.
Like I told you, we're finally waking up. It's like watching the reincarnation of Stevie G combined with Fernando Torres up top.
Stop
Ekitike, what a
that, bro.
striker. It's what a midfielder. Well, they're finally combining. Even though they don't have a manager, the team is playing really well. Mo Salah, Mo Salah with assists, slowly coming back into the rhythm of the team. Konate, great moment for him. His
Beautiful
dad passed
moment. Yeah.
away last week. He just couldn't contain himself as soon as he scored that goal. It was great to watch other players go to him and basically show that he's not alone, just like Liverpool.
He's not a lot. It's crazy, bro.
Wow, that's good.
Wow, it's poetic, bro.
Serge,
Poetic. It's a library, bro.
There you
But
go.
it's a lot.
I'm
Library, bro.
inspired. But for me, Soboslai is like what a player. He can play right back, center
Yo,
mid,
Oh, yeah.
attacking mid. Like then even put as goalie, he probably did really well in there too. It's great to see also Gravenage and McAllister coming back to the level because both of them have been struggling all season. Like I don't know, it's the injuries, too many games for them, but like it's good to see them coming back. So maybe Liverpool had too many games last season, and now they're kind of like having like a second wind and slowly and surely turning into their best form that we once saw last season.
I think if you look at some of these players, Wirtz, I mean, 100 mil on that price tag. If we're talking realistic, the player is a good player. He has quality. So at the end of the day, I think he was always going to come good. I think for me, the signing of the season, without a doubt, for me, Ekatike. Ekatike could play in any of these teams from first to last. I mean, the kid is just a baller. the way he connects with all the players around him, I love to see it. He reminds me of like some of these old school forwards that can connect properly with their midfield, and I just love to see it. But I will say it was a beautiful moment to see Konate get his goal. I mean, it was gorgeous, gorgeous moment. But what I will say is that like there's a lot of changes going on with Liverpool. I mean, that whole back line, who started at right back? It was Soboslai, right? And Daniel has said that Soboslai is a Ferrari in a Toyota parking lot. I don't know what he meant by that, but those
Hey,
are Coach
yo.
Daniel's words. That's, with a Liverpool fan here now, I don't know if that's gonna fly. But, at the end of the day, any team that's going into so many changes needs time to gel. It needs time to like massage its way in. And like you said, Salah's role last year is totally different than this year. And I think, in my opinion, Salah warrants the respect that he should get. And you massage him in. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you transition him on within a year or two. I don't know, but I think it's tough to see that Newcastle team deteriorate like this because there was a point that we were talking about this Newcastle team being such a powerful force in the league itself, given this new ownership, given the firepower they had up front. But now the tables have turned. I mean, you have Isak over there laughing at his old teammates in the game. Wild scenes, to be honest with you. Wild scenes. Serge, what'd you make of the game? Did you get a chance to catch it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick so Wilbur can go ahead and talk about Liverpool. I just want to say that I think Ekitike is flourishing right now in Anfield. I think he's finally getting all that time, and like we're all saying, we're praising him. I mean, the finishes that he's doing is just fucking nothing short of spectacular. I think this game he really showed the type of striker that he is. They played I think Newcastle at a really good time to kind of build that morale. Like we were saying prior, right now it's kind of the business end of the season, right? So I kind of feel like this will springboard Liverpool into a good run for them. Newcastle, I don't think has won. I think they won one game in the last 7 games in all competitions.
Or
So right now, yeah. So right now, Newcastle isn't looking great right now. But yeah, man, I think Liverpool showed what they've shown in the past. That they're a team that is always fighting for something, and now with Ekitike, Soboslai, always class. You put him wherever he'll play. Top notch. His performance is always 10 out of 10. But yeah, man, it was a good game to watch. I caught some glimpses here and there, but the game was awesome to watch, especially with Ekitike performing like how he was.
yeah, take it away. Will, let us know what you think about the game.
No, I honestly was like, I was happy. I was like you haven't seen Liverpool play like this in a long time. They got the rhythm going. They did things that I actually enjoy watching on Liverpool. A lot of like when you watch Liverpool, is we're a counter attacking team. Like the attacking is what gets the fans going. That second goal from Ekitike got that stadium blasting, like because it was
Yeah.
just 3 touches and boom, you're done. Like you know what I'm saying? So I was really happy with that moment where okay, we can just get it down the line within 3 passes and this kid can just get it done. So I was really happy to see things that like from back in the days, well, how we used to play. I feel like this season, every single game that we have played, it has been a absolutely struggle. You could play Burnley, you could play Leeds. It's been a struggle. It's like playing a final every single game. So when a lot of the fans are asking, or a lot of the other soccer fans are asking, what is going on with Liverpool? What's going on with Liverpool's players? That is it. Is the players are playing every single game like their life depends on it, and there's no way a player can perform well consistently like that way. I think this was a comfortable win. We got it done, but at the beginning, Newcastle was attacking for the first 35 minutes. They were going at it. I think we defended well. Allison always. This is the type of games that he steps up for, and he's there for that reason. He's a really good keeper. And but right after the goal started happening, the stadium started backing the team up. I was watching the game on my phone, and I could hear it through my phone how loud that stadium was getting as soon as we got the lead. And after that, everything started flowing. I think Wirtz is playing phenomenal. He's looking a lot like sometimes way too many times. He's looking for Salah. He's trying to do a give and go, but I'm glad that they finally clicked in for this one, that they work off each other. And yeah, like we said, Salah's not the same player anymore as last season. He was on fire last season. Maybe he wasted a little bit too much energy from last season that he could have carried to this season. But hey, listen, he got us the title. But I do see him a little bit slower. His vision is still great, but he's not the same Salah as last season. It'll take time for him. I think the team just needs to get confidence as it moves on. To get that top four, we need it. Just the team needs confidence. Like especially, we already have played the bottom teams, so now it's trying to get points from the middle of the table. Like that, we need to start playing good if we're gonna beat those teams. Otherwise, we're gonna go back to the same slump that we were before.
Definitely two teams at a very transition-y point of their Premier League life, right? No matter how you shape it, Liverpool has had a lot of changes to their team, given a lot of things that have gone off the football fields, right? A lot of transition. And then you also have Newcastle with a lot of transitions going on too, whether it be the personnel. I just don't think that they've completely gelled together. So it was a great performance by Liverpool, and I think it could be the catalyst of something bigger, only because of how big of a performance. I think it'll give that fan base and everybody that confidence that they needed. And in my opinion, I think Slot should be given the chance to finish out his season and get a whole other season. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think winning your a Premier League, your first season coming in, I think that warrants some time to
I,
gel with some new teams.
from all my scoops that I know, and I've been talking to a lot of fans, he and people that are around it, he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay. If they didn't fire for the last results, he's gonna stay. I think he's gonna finish the season. We have a lot of young players, so I think any coach that comes in is going to be like my favorite saying is project. It's gonna be a project, like because a lot of the new players that we have, they're young and even words, like what 23, Ekitike, so we're gonna start moving away from our mega stars, our super big names, and these kids are gonna create their own name. So I think whatever coach comes in, he better be ready to work with youth, and I feel like, yeah, like having like a leader there will be nice, but there's gonna get to a point where Van Dijk is gonna have to leave, Salah's gonna have to leave, and maybe if Konate doesn't sign, then it's gonna be the whole back line young, and the midfielder, one of the players of maybe McAllister and Soboslai, they'll become the captains eventually. So the team is gonna go for a big transition. So and then with Newcastle, I think with Newcastle is that they got to get rid of that coach, man. I think Newcastle, a lot of you guys like, but it's done. They gave him so many chances. I know that he has issues with the financial and stuff like that, but he got to go. If they bring a decent coach that I think the team will play. They could be scary at moments, but I feel like the coaching just doesn't pull through most of the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't you know take that team to the next level.
I think Eddie
They're just
Howe.
going through the paces.
I think Eddie Howe is like peaked, right? I think he's shown us as far as he can get that club, and I think if Newcastle wants to get to that next level, they're gonna have to look for another coach. I know that they were plagued with like injuries, but I think Eddie Howe has done what he can do for that team, for sure.
I will say I will play devil's advocate a little bit, and I think given the context of where Newcastle was as a club before this new ownership took over and where they are now, it's night and day. They've done a lot for their fan base. I think the idea that they're playing this bad just shows you how far they've come. It wasn't too long ago that we were talking about Newcastle just being a Crystal Palace. It's not that far ago. It hasn't even been like a decade. Newcastle has always been around. Obviously they fluctuated when they were in the league and out of the league, but you would never consider them, hey, they're fighting for European spots. Hey, this is where we expect them to be. You're right. Maybe Eddie Howe isn't firing. I think we should pull back, kind of assess some of those players. Some of those players are just not firing for him. And I don't know if that's the manager or that's the personnel, because
Uh,
I feel like once Isaac went, a lot of things were not clicking anymore. And I don't know if that disrupted the changing room, but it seemed to change a lot of things. And I think it's pretty obvious that they're missing that level of, once you have that level of quality of striker up top, like you'll always be missing something. You'll be trying to recover it for at least a little bit of time.
but this is where my issue lies on coaches. Okay, for example, like your back line gets injured, especially like Liverpool right now. Like knock on wood, like okay, someone gets hurt in the back. Okay, we didn't buy anyone, right? With Liverpool and Isak and Ikitika, it was getting me very frustrated because I was like, you bought these two players. I know Isak is your main man, but Ikitika is delivering. So you need to put both of them in the field a lot. Look at Newcastle, how they started. They started with Gordon as a number 9. That's if I'm the fans, I will be on the coach because you start with Gordon as a number 9, but then you bought Wisa and then you bought the other German kid, Crouchy, right? Right?
Yeah,
So
Right.
you bought both of those guys and you benched them. In what minute did he put them in? What, like 70 something? Like
right.
that's crazy, man. Like as a fan, we bought these guys for that reason. You bought
Right.
Wisa to, and I think like I don't think he has ever played Wisa and this kid and Crouchy at the same time. Wisa
No.
can play winger. He's not always on the 9. I seen him play on the sides
Yeah.
when he was in
Brentford, right?
Brentford.
Yeah.
Brentford. Yeah, right. So it's not like he was always holding as a 9. He has speed to play the wings.
Yeah, Daniel said the
Yeah.
same thing last week.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
so.
understand why did you put those two guys on the bench if that's you got rid of Isak and those are the two forwards that you got, and this is a big game. So I mean, it benefit us. I mean, Gordon always scores against us, but
Yeah.
like I was like, okay, he got his goal and that's it. Then after that, nothing happened. So
Yeah.
if that's on the coach not putting your two biggest transfer that you got, and they bought Wisa for a decent amount of money.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's really he's not very good at adapting, I would say, very quickly. I think that is very evident in what we've seen from him, but I will say that in my opinion, no matter what, some of these players are just not firing as consistently or as much as you need them. Barnes, inconsistent. Gordon has not been himself. They're all I'm telling you, these English players are saving it for the World Cup. Elanga is Elanga. We don't expect much from him, but I think it's both, to be honest. It's a World Cup year. Some of these players know it. I don't know how many of these guys are actually going to be in a World Cup team, but I know Gordon is for sure, and he's usually carrying that team. So, I mean, lots for Newcastle to discuss internally, and lots for them to change. Let's move on a little bit to a game that had title implications, guys. Title favorites, Aston Villa versus Brentford. What did you guys make of that game? Did you guys catch that game?
I did, but that's Villa for you, man. That's Villa for you. There's moments where they cannot figure it out, man. I was watching that game and I'm like, they sometimes they play so well through, especially they're not a very good build out of the back team, but once they pass the middle, they play very good. They just couldn't figure it out. Like the things were not happening for them, and I watched I watched a little bit of the game and I watched the full highlights and things were just not going for them. And I'm like, and that's where the moment is. Like even when they were
Right.
playing when they played what was it, the Europa League, right?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Thank God who got injured?
Was
Tielemans?
it
Watkins.
Tielemans?
Thank God Watkins got injured for
Oh,
that
yeah.
game. For the because then Rogers came in. Oh my God, as soon as Rogers came in, him by himself changed the whole game. By himself. So if Rogers is not, on, yeah, you got like the other players, McGeems and all those guys that they find a way to create something out of nothing. But there's not really like other players. Like I think their mega star is Rogers, and then that's it. Like so, I think that was a big L for them. That was a terrible one. And
Huge points to drop in
yeah,
the run-in because they bring in a Tammy Abraham to reinforce that position, given the fact that Ali is injured. David Luiz comes in to reinforce Onana. It's clear that Villa they smell blood in the water and that there's a chance to finish higher up in the table and they want to. But I totally agree with you. This is typical Villa. I know for a fact that there are certain teams that will drop off at certain periods in the year, and this is Emery's year. This is Emery's time where he starts slowly, points start to trickle. We saw it with Arsenal. I saw it consistently with Arsenal. They just start to trickle, and it's not always Emery. And I will say some of these players are to be held responsible. But to be fair to Villa, they started this game like you said, rampant. They were the ascendancy consistently throughout the game. It kept feeling like they were going to score, but they just never got it. And then Brentford got their counterattacking goal, and
yep.
they just look lethal counterattacking against Villa. They would cut them like butter, and it was a great result for Brentford. who has been the surprise, in my opinion, one of the surprises of the season in the way that they've also, had to transition their team from maybe a year or two ago, losing Ivan Toney, who was their captain. Now look at all these players that are coming through. So Wisa was gone. So I think it was a great result from Brentford, but I think the pressure, this is what pressure does to teams, right? Villa needed to win this game, just like Arsenal last week needed to win against Man United. Pressure does something to teams, and they just couldn't get over the line. The best player, I think, that looked, besides any of the attacking couple of players, Tammy looked good, but I think Matty Cash looked like the next guy that was going to score to me, like the next favorite
Yeah.
to score, which is sad because that's your right back, right back. But if that's your next in line to score, like it's not looking too good. But Rogers couldn't save him this game. I'll tell you that. That's what it boils
Hey,
down
listen, babyface assassin, baby.
to.
I
Yeah.
told you, the brand never lies, bro. Nah, he's a good keeper, man. That kid is a good keeper.
Yeah. Not good enough for
Gallagher is a
Liverpool though, right?
no. I mean, listen, bro. He can't bench Allison, bro. But he's a good keeper. That
I mean, I didn't
kid,
know Allison was eternal, but okay.
but like that kid is. You seen that post about that guy, bro? His last PKs that he saved. It's crazy, bro. Like I think it was like Mbappe, Palmer. It was like a crazy list like that he had. Like the guy is great. Like I think it was like Palmer, Ronaldo, some shit like that. Like and no, he's a good keeper. And I think in the Premier League, I think he probably has the most penalty saves too.
I
He
think,
just
in my opinion, I think he made the mistake of going to a Brentford. I think where he could have gone that he would have never gone to, and I know he would have never happened, but he would have done business at a Man United. He would have done
oh
business.
yeah, insane.
Yeah,
But I'm glad he did it.
insane. Yeah, no, no, no. I know. He would never happen, but he would have done numbers. I think, he's a good shot stopper.
Yeah.
He's a good shot stopper. I'll say it. He's a good shot stopper. And I think he commands his box really well, which is really important in the modern game.
Oh,
Serge, Dan,
I think
what
that's
did
the
you guys
reason.
think? Yeah, no, totally.
I just
Serge,
think
Dan.
I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't really include Villa in the title conversation. They're just there because they happen to win some games. Their teams are not doing too well. They just don't have the depth to be fighting with Arsenal and Man City right now. Like, look, they had to bring Tammy Abraham. They had to call back Douglas Luiz because the depth is not there. And like, even though they added quantity, it doesn't mean they added quality. So
And
you need players like Tielemans, Onana, and Watkins always, always, always. And when you miss those three, it's tough to win games even against a team like Brentford. So I just think Emery's doing great things. I hope that he comes to Madrid. I would love him at Madrid next season,
wild.
so he can say buenas noches instead of good evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel
Hey,
like
listen,
he can do as much
he's a
as he
good
can.
coach, man. He's a good coach.
Europa League favorites for you guys?
I think so. They're second right now. Let's see who's there. Leon.
But that Lyon team, man.
Yeah.
Leon to the
Wow.
Betis.
They are so young and they played.
Yeah, I guess
They
it'll be
played
between Leon, Villa, Betis, maybe Roma, and that's
no.
about it.
Roma lost to Udinese today.
Yo,
Yeah, but
chill,
now
the
that's it.
different.
There's not that many top teams there.
I think Phil, you got to
For
put
sure, one of the
given
favorites.
Emery's track record, in that competition, they gotta be top two. I mean, just
Oh yeah, 100%.
Emery's a serial Europa
Wait.
League winner.
I'd be surprised if he starts saving some players to the Europa League.
Yeah,
like
that
put
might
some
be their way
subs.
in for the champions, bro. He might just be putting all his eggs on that basket.
Yeah, the way the season is shaping out, it looks like Liverpool's gonna end up third, and I think Villa's gonna drop hard, like an anchor. Because I think they're gonna have to transition, and they're gonna have to put one egg in all those baskets, right? And you would rather put it in a Europa League than a FA Cup or whatever, what it is. Especially at like a team like Villa, they literally display their Premier League trophy every freaking game. Like, is it the Premier League or the Champions League? I think it's the
Champions League.
Put some respect on that, all right?
Yeah. Don't worry
No,
about
I
that.
think good, for the coaches and good for the team. And also that might get them a little bit out of financial trouble too.
Yeah. Just so you can see, I'm gonna list out the fixtures that Villa has next. Their next Premier League game is Villa versus Bournemouth. After that, they have Villa versus Brighton. After that, it's Villa versus Leeds. And then just to round out the end of February, Wolves versus Villa. Very favorable run for them. I think
Yeah,
the hardest game is the one coming up, maybe the Bournemouth one.
Bournemouth.
But
Yeah,
other than that, I think Villa should feel like they're favorites in that. And then they have in between the 11th and the 21st, they have their FA Cup next round, which is against Newcastle, which on paper right now looks like an
Doesn't look pretty
easy.
bad for them.
Doesn't look pretty bad for them. Yeah, I will
yeah.
say that. I mean, if Newcastle start turning a gear, then maybe things change. But it's not looking too bad for them. And I think as they move down, it gets a little harder for them. Once they reach March, they have back-to-back hard games
Yeah.
against Chelsea and Man United. So after that, they really got to pick up points coming up, like you said, Will, because it will start to get denser and with a lot more quality in front of them than
But they
the
got
next couple
Chelsea
of
too,
games.
right? After Wolves, they got Chelsea, and then they got you guys. Or who's that, Man U?
I think they have Man
United.
U after they have
So
they
they
have
got Chelsea,
United.
and they got Man. So after those two games, they're gonna be like, yeah, we're not doing this league thing. If
We'll
they
see.
can if they can beat those two teams, then they'll be like, okay, they're gonna be
Yeah,
walking on on
yeah.
highs. But yeah, after those games, I think. I mean, I hope they beat Man U. So gotta get that
What
trouble. Get that trouble.
real quickly, what did you guys think? Give me like a 1-2 sentence answers of what you guys thought about the Man United Fulham game.
Michael Carrick at the wheel, bro.
Mm,
3 fucking games.
sign that contract.
Sign that
Sign
contract.
that
Send that shit, bro.
contract.
I'm a little
And that
disappointed.
shit
I
and
thought
sign it for life.
I thought Fulham was gonna kind of throw him like a fucking rock, bro. I really thought Fulham was gonna come out and maybe get a point out of that game. I really liked the way Silva's managing that club, and I like the players they got. And I thought with the AFCON players that they got back, like Chukwuemezi, Iwobi, I thought they were gonna do some damage over there at Old Trafford. But United came through, bro. They got the 3 points, so kudos to them. Casemiro though,
Yeah.
Casemiro, ever since he announced that he was gonna retire, that boy's been balling, bro. He's waiting on that call from fucking Perez, bro. He's like, yo, bring me back.
Wait, I don't think he's retiring. They just don't, bro. He's the third highest paid player in the Premier League. You guys know
Is he?
that, right? Yo, it's
Yeah, bro, it's
crazy the
wild.
amount of money that this guy gets. Bro, he's like the third. Like it's Haaland, Salah, and Casemiro,
And then
bro. Like
Casemiro,
what?
yeah.
What?
So random.
Bro,
So
not
random.
Bruno Fernandes, that is an animal. Like, bro, like what? That's what I was like telling to all my Man United fans. I'm like, the reason they gotta let him go is because the
They
guy
can't
gets
afford him.
paid a lot of money. You're
Yeah.
paying him like the same amount as
Yeah.
Salah. Like, bro, like come on. It's crazy.
Those wage bills are not sustainable. I mean, Liverpool has a pretty high one too. They have to start cutting the fat too, bro.
No, but
It's it's tough.
they got there eventually. They got there. Like Salah is gonna leave soon. Van Dijk is gonna leave soon. So those two are the big ones right there.
Yeah.
No,
But
I
they're
no.
not gonna
Listen,
cut Salah.
me as a United hater, they play good. They play really. They
So
did their
United
thing.
hated.
I think it's just with teams like that, even like that, I was saying the same thing with Liverpool. Sometimes you have the quality, but it's just so much frustration on the players that eventually, like, you don't get them going. So you don't ever know if like how the training was before. So now they got this guy that is okay. He's a little more chill. So at the end, there's going to be some challenges. You're going to face an Arsenal, you're going to face a Chelsea, you're going to face, and that's where the test is going to happen. So right now, they look like the players are enjoying the game. They're enjoying playing for Manchester United. They're enjoying playing off each other. And wins like that you win like a last minute, man. That gets the teams going, man. I didn't think that we're gonna get it, but I was like, wow, how nasty that second Fulham goal was. Oh my
Fuck yeah.
God. So I was like, that would shut a team down. So they show a different face. I think Bruno Fernandes is playing great. He's more free. I think the team overall is opening the field a lot more. It's less of that congestion of in the midfield. Like you see them switching the field to an open player. You see them switching the field to the right backs and the left back. So it only helps when you do that. It only helps the quality players because they get more time on the ball and they can have more space to think and create.
I love that El Profe is here. I love it. I love it. Exactly what I've been saying too. Bruno Fernandes, he's playing with so much more freedom now. He's a number 10 that they bought him for 6 years ago. He's a number 10 that has shown what he can do with the ball, without the ball. I forget it was the second goal or the first goal. It was such a beautiful play that he created. Like sometimes you wish some number 10s in London could do that, but only a few players can do that.
Diablo.
Carry the team on their shoulders, be a true captain, and lead them to titles.
Listen, some number
The
10 in
alley-oop
London, they
is
stay on the bench,
crazy,
bro.
dog.
And
Some number 10s, they stay on the bench.
I heard he's finding with his coach. Let's see. Oh no, but going back to Bruno Fernandes again, he's a phenomenal player. But going back to what you said about Casemiro, now that he's leaving, he's like, I guess he's playing with I guess maybe because of no pressure holding him down, so he's doing his thing like he did at Madrid. He's giving the strength and that leadership in the midfield. I feel like something that I haven't really heard anyone talk about. It's the goalkeeper, like the dude Lemons, I think his name is. He has been quiet, making saves, doing the right things. But it seems so normal because that's what a goalkeeper is supposed to do. But like, if that was Onana, half of the shots would have gone in, or he was doing some stupid shit. So great job by the scouting department by getting him, because I feel like he was like 20 mil, I think only. He's very young, so great goalkeeper to have in the future.
Babyface would have been about the same. I don't know.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, he's
they
good.
have that confidence.
It's the same thing. I think it's the kid got confidence too, so they got that going.
Yeah.
He looked good though. He looked good too. The goalie looked good too.
Very, very favorable fixtures for United coming up. So I'm gonna run you through the Premier League because they're not in the FA Cup. So Man United versus Tottenham, layup. Man United versus West Ham. Then they have Everton, followed by Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
Take the scissors out, get the razors out. That kid is finally gonna get a haircut.
I mean, facts. If there's an opportunity for my boy to get a haircut finally, this is it. This is it. Carrick at the wheel. And to be fair, this is what happens when you don't play for many things. There's no pressure. And then we gas up these teams thinking there's something relevant. And next year in the league, they just end up doing the same thing. And then you wonder why. But whatever you guys want to think, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
I think they're going to beat Tottenham, but I feel like they're gonna struggle at the bubbles. At the bubbles, they're gonna struggle. At the bubbles, yeah,
they're gonna slip in those bubbles.
Bro, you can't be sleeping in those bubbles, bro.
The relegation battles are no joke, bro.
Bro, the bubbles, they cannot go down, bro.
They're fighting for their life.
They cannot go down, bro.
They cannot go down.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
Yeah, those are two tough stadiums to go to, like, because they're gonna go to West Ham, and then they're going to what? To Everton?
Mm-hmm.
Everton, yeah.
Everton,
I think they go to Everton.
Yeah, so Everton is, even though they don't play well, they're annoying to play. Like they sit back and they counterattack you. Barry's been putting in that work, bro.
That's for sure, bro. And they're original homeowners of Anfield, so they always bring the parties to Merseyside.
There's no team name. There's no city named Everton. There's no city named.
No, but but let me tell you something though. I mean, the original owners of that stadium are who? Everton FC, baby.
Listen,
they loaned it out to little bro. That's it. That's
there's no stadium. There's no city named Everton.
Yeah, that sounds like a drink break right there, my boy.
There's no city named Everton.
You guys, the same guys that flex about Red Bulls being called New York and New York City being called New York City, are the ones defending this. Like, it's crazy.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways,
New York City is from New York and Red Bulls is from Jersey.
Let's talk about let's kind of like finish off this little game week review with the big game of the weekend: Banana Slip FC versus Manchester City. Talk to me. Let me set it up a little bit for you. As we all know, Spurs hate their neighbors. Expressions had Serge out here singing. What was the song, bro? What was the song you were singing to last week?
What song? The Embuemo song.
About Embuemo? The Embuemo song?
I forgot what the fuck.
Embuemo.
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck.
All week, I had that in my head, like, yo, they're gonna really throw this game again, bro. But
even the fans, bro. Even the fans were like, yo, we don't know if we want y'all to win. We might have to take the L today.
Yeah.
Spurs is the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm telling you,
Coach. I mean, bro, you start him off a little bit with Spurs versus City, bro.
That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous to watch. They have done it so many times. They have made me money. They have done it. They have won me the league. They have won the league for me. Spurs is the, what do they call that? The bat Superman. The
Kryptonite.
yes,
Like kryptonite, yeah.
yo, Spurs does that, bro. Spurs. I don't know why I didn't bet this time because I was like Spurs is gonna come and do it again. They always find a way to take points away from City. I don't know why. Like
They do.
they bro, if same thing that they always do. Every single game they have took something away from City is them playing bad, terrible the first half, shit in their pants to actually playing phenomenal to the second half. I personally put this L again on Guardiola because the way that okay, you have the we I put this in the group chat, but I'm gonna say it like you have the money, you have the players, you have the coach. What are you missing? Like, what are you missing to have a
He got his wife
steady
back.
team? Do you know what I'm saying? That you just went and bought Mayo. The guy literally is like 12 goals this whole season. Like, it's crazy. Like, the guy is a great player. Like, in when Tottenham started playing, they just started dribbling. Like City started holding the ball, they were losing the ball. Tottenham were winning, they were going at it. I'm like, if you know that a team is going at it, okay, at least keep the ball a little bit. No, they just. I think City just started giving the ball away. Like it was like the second half. It was a nightmare for City. Nightmare. I was like watching that game, and I'm like the guy that invented tiki taka is getting destroyed because his team cannot make two passes. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's on Guardiola. Like I'm like, and I said, I'm like, does Guardiola take does he go to therapy? Because honestly, fighting with this guy, right? What's going on with my camera? Fighting with what's his face? Turkey?
But yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tricky
like
because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Because of the
okay.
injuries, yeah.
So yes, I saw the whole play. Shirky, yes, he got kicked really bad. Then he's like, okay, but Shirky's not a fast runner. He likes to keep the ball. You know, like those street bowlers, like those street bowlers that they love to keep the ball on their feet and they'll do magic when the ball on their feet. But when they don't have the ball, they don't do that. Like, like they're just walking, like, you know?
Mhm.
So yes, he started becoming a little bit slower after the little injury. He comes out, he's like, okay, Pep, like it's fine, okay. And he just starts losing it. The guy was not disrespectful. He didn't say nothing bad. He just said, okay, Pep. And this guy lost his shit and started yelling at his player. I'm like,
It's like
like,
he knew what was
bro, did you
coming.
see the goal that he just
He
scored?
knew what was coming, bro.
What?
He knew he knew what was coming.
Yeah, like I'm like, bro, like I don't know. Guardiola's he needs to come back to New York. He needs that break again. He needs that break. He needs a break. Sign your kids up for. Oh no, his kids are probably teenagers by now, but he needs that break, bro. He's losing it, bro. Like mentally, I don't think he's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm gonna run you guys a little bit through the lineup that City has. So obviously Donnarumma in goal, Nunez at right back, Kuskanov at right center back, left center back Gehi, Ain't Nori at left back, in the hole. Rodri, right? I guess he was like kind of playing like a floating right mid. Was Cherki, Bernardo Silva was kind of as a cam, and then O'Reilly next to him, and then Semenyo on the left and Holland up top. I will say this team a little bit imbalanced for me. Kushkinov is a little young for me. I think he's gonna learn with his age. But the real catalyst for me that's a problem is the midfield between Rodri and Silva. I'm not sure I don't care what any coach tells me. The age is caught up to Silva. He's not the player that he was before, in my opinion. And then Rodri doesn't have the legs that he had before, and I think he's getting up to speed again in the Prem. And once Haaland isn't firing, he's basically just another passenger for City, and that's just my opinion. But and then on the other side, we're gonna run through their lineup. It was Vicario, Romero, Dragoshin, Polinia, Udogi, Besuma, Gallagher, Gray, Muani, Simons, Solanke. Solanke with a brace, no Van de Ven, which is huge. Dragosteen with his first start of the season, if I'm not mistaken. And you have some of these players like Gallagher, who's only maybe his third game into the transfer window, and Kala Muani, who has not been firing. It's incredible how this team somehow always finds a way to give Man City a fighting chance. But I will say, I think that foul against Gehi where Solanke scored, I think that's a foul. And then Solanke had that wonder goal where that reminded me of Giroud's scorpion kick. That when we saw that was gorgeous. I mean, we all know Solanke's an Arsenal fan, so my boy out there giggling it up with his friends somewhere in London. You know what I mean? But I think this is the thing that we've said with City. Is this the team to chase you down in a title race that's going to put up a run? I think they're very stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. And I think there's a lack of fluidity in this team. And I don't think you get that midseason. No matter who you bring in, it just does not happen. And I think Cherky is a baller, but I'm not sure if he's the level of baller that they need to get them over the line, especially in this season. Just I think that this defense is too easy and vulnerable to cut through. And in the Premier League, when you're playing basketball style games now, they're gonna get found out more often than not. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, Dan or Serge.
What do you call it? No, it was great by Tottenham and Thomas, the choo-choo train Frank. He finally put some coal in the train, and the train started moving, especially in the second half when he took out Cuti Romero and added Pepe Sara, the guy from Senegal, I believe. You know, he brought balance to the midfield that went to a back four. It kind of gave more freedom now for Xavi Simons to be more like a 10. Even though he was a winger, he was kind of like roaming centrally and leaving the whole left-hand side for Udogi. But yeah, Tottenham took control of the whole second half. Like you said, in something that we've been talking for like the past month, that Rodri, he's not the same player as before. He's not the same Ballon d'Oro man. He can't play by himself in the middle. Like he needs support. Like
No, yeah,
Man
totally
City should
agree.
go to 4-2-3-1 maybe. Rodri support and not be so open down the middle. You know, Cherky, yeah, like Coach Wilver said. I mean, Prophet Wilver said, he's on the ball amazing, but off the ball, you know, he kind of reminds me of Riquelme. You know, a James Rodriguez style of player. He doesn't really track back. He doesn't help defensively. So yeah, so he doesn't give the support that you need. And again, like Ty says, we must have not forget going through a lot of injuries this season, Man City. Granted, that's why they went during the summer window and literally throw the money and got so many players. Menyo, Weggy. I'm not sure what's going on with Pep. I think he's overthinking again. He needs to like go back to his basics and just play more simple. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And back to Haaland, I feel like, he's not like a complete striker. He's like Gyökeres. He needs players to fit him in order for him to succeed. And right now, no one is finding him for him to be able to do that. He lost his big partner in crime like Kevin De Bruyne. So we got to see what happens next with Man City. I think
Yeah,
like I said, title is over.
title is over. I'm
February
not sure.
February is over.
I will say I don't think it's over, given what I've seen since I've been watching the Prem since I was a
Given what
kid.
you've
It's not
seen on
over.
who? Given what you've seen on who?
Given what I've seen, there's always one last twist, at least one or
Oh.
two last twists. Yeah, there's
who?
always.
We all know where that twist
What
is
do you
coming
mean?
from.
With who? Name the team.
Yo, what do you mean? It's
Who's the
gotta
team?
come from City. It has to come from City.
Oh, okay.
It has to come from City unless something drastic happens with the other teams. It can only come from City. Villa's a liability.
Yeah.
Pep has to make something happen. If there's a manager of world football that could do it, we know who it is.
I
right?
still got my
mean,
money
you
on
wouldn't.
Pep, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You see, my boy's still over here about to lose $500. He doesn't remember that we even have a bet. Like,
Yeah, bro. I'm still waiting on the receipts, bro.
thing-
I'm still waiting on the receipts.
Yeah.
I'll get you the receipts.
Please,
I'll get
bro,
you the
please.
receipts because I actually have them.
The thing
Yeah,
is, like,
nah.
you have that whole attacking that is very, like, is Semedo good at assisting? Because he's very direct too. Then you have Cherky. And that's why, not because I have Foden in fantasy, but Foden is way more like you see a lot of the runs that Foden does, like, okay, like he'll make a run behind Haaland, or when he sees that the three attackers, there was a play, I think, I don't know who was going on the left, I think it was, and he sees that everyone's attacking, so he's like, okay, I'll just take the position of Rodri. So he holds back, and he's asking for the ball. He doesn't get the ball, but he knows what space to take, and I think not that he's the best passer, But it goes back to like what we were saying, like with the Haaland, he doesn't have that player to deliver. He's a
totally
killer
agree.
finisher. He's a killer finisher. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of the City players are very direct players. So
Yeah.
and I don't think the style with what Pep is trying to achieve is clicking in. And a lot of like the times, like okay, we didn't see it with this Tottenham game, but a lot of the times you see a team sit back and they're just and City's just passing the ball back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's hard to find a Haaland when he's being marked with 4 players and the only ball that he can get is from the cross.
Right.
Correct. Yeah,
So
totally agree.
I just think I think that's something that City has to figure out. Like, okay, maybe sometimes we don't have to play from the back. Hit Haaland over the top. He's great at winning the ball. He wins the ball. He holds the ball. So sometimes if Haaland just holds the ball, you already did all the work. You just need the support player, which back
Yeah.
in the days it was De Bruyne. Now, like a give and go with Haaland, nobody's gonna stop him. I seen him outbody 2 center backs. So I just
Yeah.
think Pep hasn't figured it out. But I mean, hey, he got my boy intensity there, so I don't see any intensity, bro.
Yo, seriously.
Yo, he got Mr. Intensity there. His assistant coach, club's ex assistant coach.
Clubs X.
He's not doing it, right? He's not doing it.
No, he's the
not
reason we
doing it.
lost the league because that guy gave
Yeah.
away all our secrets, bro.
That's
So
Yeah,
he wrote that book, Intensity,
intensity. You got that book in your library
Yeah.
then?
bro. No,
Sure,
bro.
right here, right here.
All the Arsenal fans, all the City fans, they all have it in their library. But check the books behind you, Daniel. I'm sure you have it there too.
I got him.
What a great game week, though. Honestly, what a great game week. All right, guys. So that's the end of episode 5. Before we go, I think thank you to Coach Will for being here. We
Thank you
appreciate
for the invite.
Yeah, and we hope it's one of many more. And you know what? Cheers to anybody who's still listening after all this time. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Cheers to episode 5, guys. So
Cheers,
if I
guys.
cheers by myself.
Salud, salud, salud.
Episode 5,
Perfect glass. I drank too much
Number
of it in the
five,
week from
number
Madrid.
five.
That's why I can't drink anymore.
Yo, so
But-
we'll
but-
see you guys on the next one, all right? Ninja Turtles out.